We're back with another 2021 Player Outlook presented by RotoHeat.com. This time we're talking Diontae Johnson, wide receiver, Pittsburgh Steelers. And if you've been enjoying all the great content the RotoHeat.com team's putting up here at YouTube, show us some love. Like, subscribe to the notification icon, share it to all your friends, your grandparents, whoever likes fantasy football, and let's get to it. So looking at the 13 evaluators' compiled data for this player, we think he's probably going to land somewhere in the wide receiver 22 to 28 range when all things are said and done this year. 3 of us are buys, three of us are sells, and 8 of us are holds. So the team is a little mixed on what to do with him, but by and large, hold is kind of where folks are at. If you look at the different ADPs, like the Fantasy Pros, redraft ADP or our Dynasty ADP, you're looking at a guy who's somewhere in the 53 to 80 range. In redraft, it's more like 53. In Dynasty, it's more like 80. So he's still a top 100 player in fantasy. At least that's the way everybody's looking at it currently. The team is a little bit all over the place on him, but if you look at the situation that's going on there in Pittsburgh, they really focused on what was the weak area. So if you look at the game-to-game breakdown for Pittsburgh last year, it wasn't like Ben truly tapered off as the season went on. He completed something like 65, 66% of his passes. But when you look at the game log, after week 6, I believe, they only had 100-yard rushing game from then on. And so they had to try to turn to the pass, where Pittsburgh likes to set up the pass with the run. So that dynamic being taken away was difficult. The teams that were higher end secondaries, stronger secondaries, had a field day against this team because they were able to not have to worry so much about the run and focus on stopping the pass. So there was a few games there where Ben had less than 250 yards passing, and that really hurt everybody. When you look at Diontae Johnson himself, that's a little bit of a different story. He's in a crowded room. He's got a lot of competition for snaps. Some of the guys on the team has seen the alpha male in him. So there is that he can be that guy if he wants to. And we saw progression from 2019 to 2020. He almost hit 1,000 yards and like 7 or 8 touchdowns last year. You saw that he improved in just about every category except for catch percentage was a little bit down. But again, as the season went on, as they're facing tougher competition and the teams aren't worried about the run, they were able to focus on taking players out of the game. We saw across the board a lot of the pass catchers just had up and down 2020s. Now, the addition of a guy like Najee Harris should add that dynamic back into this game for you to be able to feel a little more comfortable that, listen, these pass catchers are going to be able to get they'll be able to eat a little bit more because that running back is going to be there. I mean, we've seen Najee all offseason looking awesome, obviously in shorts at this point. But that dynamic being there will help them in the passing game exponentially. So don't be afraid, especially in redraft, to target this guy in, kind of the low-end wide receiver 2 type category, and knowing that there is wide receiver 1 upside because he's going to be one of the starters. James Washington's kind of been the guy that's now in the backseat, and you've got Chase Claypool, JuJu, and Diontae as kind of those 3 receivers. Now you have to remember they got Ebron and Pat Freiermuth, so there's some other pass catchers there to get the targets as well. But I have no problem feeling good about Diontae Johnson getting another 100+ targets because 92 in year 1, 145 or 44 in year 2. He's going to still get his targets. So feel good about it. Don't be afraid to target him or try to acquire him or draft him if you need wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 with upside type players there. And let us know in the comments below, what are you doing with Diontae Johnson? We'll talk to you guys again soon. Take care of yourselves.